Okay, you guys. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm gonna untie my hair. Excusez-moi. Just feel like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like 4 p.m. here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Today's book, y'all. Please wait. First of all, even before I get into, please look. Who am I? Who am I even? What is this, honey? I tabbed the book. I don't think I did any annotations in this. No, I think I did one annotation. So I'm starting slowly to get into tabbing and annotating, but I'll let you guys know how my tabbing system works. But for now, just know that this is the second book I've tabbed. The first one I haven't quite reviewed yet, and I was dying to review this one first because it was just that mind-blowing. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I mean, it's Colleen Hoover. Like, right, let's get into the usuals, okay? The cover, beautiful. I mean the colors, I don't know if you can see, but it's like, is that the, what's the word, iridescent, but it like shimmers, so like holographic, same, I don't know, but like it shimmers. And I only realized the other day after I had finished reading this book that these are little pigeons. Is that an effing pigeon? Hey? And I was like, Colleen, you're so smart. And yeah, the colors are beautiful. I love this book. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful book, and it's the usual size that I go for, under 400 pages. I think the only book that I read so far that's more than that is Girl in Pieces. Yeah, and it was worth it. This book is going to rip your heart apart, like terribly, and then like piece it back together like bit by bit, but your heart's still gonna be like, you know, like sewn together. It's not gonna be like intact again after reading this book, but I definitely recommend that you get it. I give this book 5 out of 5 stars. And this is the second Colleen Hoover book that I've read. The first one was It Ends With Us, and I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. You can watch the review and let me know if I'm right. This one is also getting 5 out of 5 stars. I had started reading Verity beginning of this year, and then I left it here when I went to Cape Town, and then when I came back, obviously I was gone for long, my son had ripped the bookmark out, so now I have to read Verity again. So I'm just waiting for time to pass for me to sort of forget what happened in the first like 100 pages that I'd read before I left. So I remember I was enjoying it though. It was like a very different Colleen Hoover ride though, but we'll get into Verity once I'm finished reading it. I think I'm gonna take a break from Colleen Hoover's books for like the next 2 books. So currently I'm reading 7 Days in June. Love. I'm not even 100 pages in and I'm just like, this is beautiful. And then after that, I think I want to read Taylor Jenkins Reid book. I saw that she's got another one out, but anyways, let's get into the plot of this book. As you can see, first of all, let's talk about my makeup. As you can see, I've got like my no makeup look on, and there's a reason for that, because I was doing, you know, the looks that go with the books, be it the cover of the book or the theme or the character, and I feel like Kenna, which is one of the main characters of this book, she is the main character actually, she is the reason that the book exists, really, is a plain Jane girl. Switch this video off because right now I'm gonna give some spoilers if you haven't read this book yet. Are we gone? Okay. Kenna's a plain Jane girl. She just came out of prison. She was in prison for 5 years for the manslaughter of her boyfriend, and she found out while I think a couple weeks after she was arrested, that she's pregnant with their child. Now her baby daddy's dead and it is her fault. And when she gets out, she basically is looking for her daughter and eventually finds her. I'm gonna leave it at that. But as Colleen Hoover would have it, this is a love story. This is a romance novel. It's so complicated. Remember on Facebook when people would willingly write, it's complicated? If there was a complicated relationship, it would have to be the relationship between Kenna Rowan and Ledger. What's Ledger's surname? Do we ever find out? But anyways, I love his name. And I imagine him to be like this big, brunette head, tall, muscular, manly man with a connecting beard. They always gotta have a connecting beard. When I imagine the characters of my favorite books, their beards always connect, okay? You can't be in my favorite book and your beard's not connecting, okay? Great. And he's like got beautiful eyes and he's got a beautiful voice. I just hey, hi, I just had a flashback. Anyways, Ledger, you guys, I'm in love. The thing is, you know where the danger is about reading romance books, right? The danger is that the men in the books, like Ledger, they are manning more than the men that are walking on this earth with us. So now, never mind the fact that I go to therapy, right? But now my standards have gone from like here, like mid, to like here, like very high, due to these men. Because like, if these men exist in these fairy tale non-existent worlds, then surely they have to exist on earth. Like, surely Colleen could not just have imagined this man up. Surely they are walking on earth. I just need to find them. I'm struggling to find them. But I have to say though, I have to be honest, as much as I have rated this book a 5 out of 5 stars, initially I struggled to read this. Hey, I was finding it like boring. I was chatting about it on my Insta stories. If you didn't see it, it means you're not on Close Friends. That's just it. Yeah, sorry. I was chatting about it on Insta stories and I was like, I'm struggling to read this book. It's very like, it looks like it's getting predictable. I'm giving it 3 out of 5 stars. Then I was like, okay, fine, 3.5 out of 5. Then it was like 4 stars. Then in the last 100 pages, I was like, boo, 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 5 stars, Colleen, okay? And, you know, it really did hook me. It's so funny because like the last like 100 pages is like 2 tabs, but I think it's because I'd run out of the orange tabs, and you'll see like a lot of the books that I read are tabbed orange, and there's a reason for that, and I'll do another video about my tabbing system. But for now, let's get back in the book. I want to read you some of the most beautiful, almost heartbreaking things that I read in this book. Ooh, this one, I discussed this with my girl Melissa. Maybe if I acknowledge all the good things, no matter how small, they'll add up to make the bad thing in my life less painful. It's giving gaslighting, girl, Kenna. It's giving gaslighting yourself, because it's giving breadcrumbing. You are hanging on to the breadcrumbs, like when it comes to men. Hanging on to the breadcrumbs, hoping that they'll make up for the lack of that thing that you need, and that's just not gonna work. It's not, you can acknowledge that, okay, cool, this is nice to have, cool, this is nice to have, but you deserve the entire cake, okay, Kenna? You don't just deserve the crumbs, you deserve the entire cake. And I'm talking to myself, and I'm talking to you, Melissa, as well. I know we've discussed this, but just a reminder, okay? There's one quote that I like. I'll read you another one. I'm gonna read, so that was an orange tab quote. I'm gonna read you a blue tab quote that says, life can be so fucking cruel and hard, and I've wanted to quit living it so many times, but then moments like these remind me that happiness isn't some permanent thing we're all trying to achieve in life. It's merely a thing that shows up every now and then, sometimes in tiny doses that are just substantial enough to keep us going. I swear I cried when I read that, because somehow I think that happiness is this thing that's just like continuous. Like if I get it, then like, okay, cool, it's gonna be like forever, and then it's not, and then I get sad. But I think that I can remember that happiness is not a permanent thing. Nothing is permanent, neither is sadness. Happiness is this thing that comes and goes like a wave. Okay, when the wave is like this, you ride the wave, and then when it crashes, you crash, and you land up on the beach, and you pick yourself back up, and you go back out, and you ride the wave again. I'm not gonna read any pink tabs, okay? Ha! I'm not reading that, because I know like old people are watching this. A yellow tab quote. Maybe, but you thought about it with the wrong fucking head. If you get it, the girls that get it, get it. If you don't, then go read the book, go buy the book. And then the final bit, I think, I don't know, I don't want to give too much away, but I feel like I connected with Kenna because first, she's a mom. I'm a mom too. Secondly, it was tricky for me like to connect with her because what she did was wrong. And I don't know if I were Scott's parents. Scott was the boyfriend that passed away in the, was it a homicide? No, it's not a homicide, I don't know. In the manslaughter. If I were Scott's parent and somebody, okay wait, let's use Zion. If I were me, I am me, bitch, I am me. I'm me, right? Let's imagine I'm me, wow, and somebody murders my son. Not even murder, we can't call it murder. Kills my son accidentally. Would I be willing to allow that person back into my life? Yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know. I think those kind of situations are ones that like you cannot actually be like, oh, if I were in this situation, I would do this, because, and I hope I never land up in that kind of situation, and I wouldn't know what to do. But I think it would take me a long time to forgive that person. But I actually don't think that I would allow that person back into my life. I might forgive them, but I don't think I would allow them back into my life. But anyways, let's get into the acknowledgements. I never read any acknowledgements of any book, okay? Because I don't know why, but for some reason I decided to read the acknowledgements of this book because I'm a Colleen Hoover fan, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna read this to the last page. And then she hit me in the feels. You know, you're crying like that was me, and I was trying to cry softly so that my brother doesn't hear me, so that he doesn't come in my room and think something's wrong, because nothing is wrong. I was just crying over a book, but in fact everything is wrong because I can relate to the book. So she says, Colleen girl, I'ma cry again, but I need to go outside like to the shop, so I'm not gonna. Reading is a hobby, but for some of us it's an escape from the difficulties we face. To all of you who escape into books, I want to thank you for escaping into this one. And I sobbed and I sobbed and I sobbed because I started reading to escape from my difficulties, and it really helped. It really did help. Out of all of the things that my doctor, my psychiatrist, okay, I'm still doing the one thing my psychiatrist told me to do. Out of all of the things they suggested I do, reading has been the one that I have consistently kept up with. I don't even think I've been as consistent with the gym, mainly because I've been sick every week from getting the plate that my son brings from creche, but yeah. Reading has been the one that I've been the most consistent with. It has been the one that I have enjoyed the most. It has been the one that I look forward to the most, enjoy the most, look forward to the most. Same. But I don't even care, like, yo guys, I will escape into a book that talks about difficult things, like this book paints this girl that's in a difficult situation, and I've been in many difficult situations, as we all know. If you keep up with my channel, we all know. And read. That's all I'm gonna say, is read. Y'all know why my son speaks so well? I had been reading to him since he was like 6 months old. He blows my mind. His vocabulary blows my mind, and he's almost 2.5. His vocabulary blows my freaking mind, and this is something that I'm so proud of, like a habit that I have sort of passed on to him that I'm freaking proud of. I'm like, girl, you're doing a good job. Okay, right? So even for me, like, there are so many words that I didn't know existed that I have learned via reading. And now, every now and then, in a conversation, I say things like, this experience was the most ineffable experience. Yo, ineffable. I mean, that's one of my favorite words. And like, I learned it this year via reading. So if you've read this book, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of Kenna. Let me know what you think of Scott's parents. Let me know what you would do if you were in Kenna's position. Let me know what you would do if you were in Scott's parents' position. Let me know what you would do if you were in Ledger's position. If I were in Ledger's position, I would do what he did. If I were in Kenna's position with regards to Ledger, I would do what she did. Okay. I'm gonna say goodbye now, okay? Enjoy this review, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye. Please do give this video a thumbs up.